Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about my reading goals for the rest of the year. I have had such an amazing reading year this year so far. I have already reached my Goodreads goal, which was 40 books. However, I just wanted to talk to you about my goals for the rest of the year. So without further ado, let's dive in. So, as I said before, I have hit my Goodreads goal of 40 books. However, even though I've hit this goal of 40 books, I've decided not to up my Goodreads goal to say 50 or 60 books. Even though it's highly likely that I'm going to read more books throughout the remainder of the year, I don't think I'm going to try and push myself to read a bigger quantity of books. At the minute, my average page, because I have got like a spreadsheet where I record all my reading statistics, and at the minute my average page number count is around 359, and I would really like to up that to 400 or above. So I think for the rest of the year I am going to focus on reading less books that are longer, so I can try and boost this page number count and things like that. So I've got a couple of books on my TBR that are quite long, and I've been putting them off because it takes longer to read longer books. So I've got Prior of the Orange Tree, Queen of Air and Darkness, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and I'm going to kind of read those books to up my page number average. So obviously still I'll be going over my reading challenge goal, but I want to boost the amount of page numbers that I'm reading on average. I also keep track of what genre of books that I have been reading, and most of the books that I've read this year have been either fantasy or YA fantasy. So I would like to read more YA contemporary. At the minute I've read 7 YA contemporary books throughout this year. I'd like to probably boost that up till about 9, 10, maybe 11. That will coincide, however, with the contemporary-a-thon that I'm going to do in September, and I'm going to post a TBR for that soon. At the minute, like I said, I've read 7, and I feel like I've really been focusing on my fantasy this year, which is awesome because I have absolutely loved reading fantasy. I love reading fantasy books, but I also like to diversify my reading a little bit. This year has also been an amazing year for me to read more nonfiction, and so far I have read 5 nonfiction books, and some of those will actually probably make it to my top 10 books of the year because some of them have just blown me away. They have been amazing. I would like to kind of increase that to about 9 or 10. I've read 5 so far. I'm also going to be participating in Nonfiction November because I often feel like nonfiction has this stigma attached to it that nonfiction is hard, it's hard to get into. You know, you can really get into a fantasy book, but you can't really get into a nonfiction book. However, I think if nonfiction is written and done well, then you can 100% be immersed in nonfiction. It's just finding the nonfiction that's written in the way that you find enjoyable, and sometimes I even find that listening to nonfiction is so much easier than reading nonfiction. I recently listened to Becoming by Michelle Obama, and it was read by Michelle Obama, and it was just amazing because you could hear it read by the author, and it was so cool to hear Michelle's kind of words in my ears as I was driving, and that really gave me such a positive experience. So if you think that you struggle reading nonfiction, maybe try an audiobook, maybe try reading it on your Kindle, maybe try listening to it. So that is an insight into my reading goals for the rest of the year. I don't really have many reading goals particularly. I am going to post maybe in late September the books that I kind of want to read before the year is out. However, I kind of just want to chill with my reading. Like, I've hit my reading goals, I'm having an amazing reading year, and at the end of the day, reading should be fun. You should want to enjoy it, it should be really good. And who wants to set themselves ridiculously difficult goals that they can't achieve and they feel demotivated? I want to read what I feel like reading, and you know what, if I don't feel like reading nonfiction, I'm not going to force myself to read nonfiction. It's all about what I'm feeling like. Reading is my hobby and I want to enjoy it. So tell me if you've got any reading goals for the rest of the year. How many books have you read? Are you ahead of your reading challenge? Have you completed it? Or are you ridiculously behind? Let me know how you're getting on. We're over halfway through the year now. So let me know in the comments down below, and if you've enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Enjoy reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye!